This may be the first time the Sword Online main series will incorporate a character from the many SAO games in existence. Sword Online Volume 28 Unital Ring VII cover was revealed earlier this week, and we also received a synopsis that sneakily hinted at a certain Integrity Knight, which combined with teases from the previous volume may mean it is time for the fan favorite Edith Synthesis 10 from Unleashed Blading to earn her place in the main canon. Welcome SAO survivors, it's me Gamerturk, and let's not waste any time. You already heard it the day before in the companion video to this one featuring the potential Mito teaser, but for those of you who haven't, you can watch that one by tapping the icon on the top right. But the synopsis of Unital Ring VII is as follows. The 7th chapter of the Unital Ring arc, where reunions and new encounters await. Kirito vs the mysterious gunner Istar, Alice vs Emperor Agmarl. As battle rages both at the scene of the Space Force base and the Central Cathedral, the former guardians of Underworld finally awaken. The Vice Commander of the Integrity Knights Order, Fanatio Synthesis 2, and one of the 7 Ancient Knights, whose name is... Meanwhile, Asuna is met with an unexpected reunion in the real world. Sorry Asuna for not even contacting you once in 2 years. Yesterday I focused on that final line and talked about who it could be from Aincrad to reunite with Asuna. Today, however, we will focus on the 7 Ancient Knights and the redacted name. Now, back in Unital Ring VI, the last scene we had at the Central Cathedral was that Fanatio had been woken up and joined the fight. The synopsis teases another Integrity Knight to be awakened while not stating their name. However, what we see is the title of 7 Ancient Knights, a title we have not heard before. At least, that was gonna be what this video was initially gonna be about until I dug deeper and had to rewrite this entire thing because of it. We were going to talk about what this generic title may be, which Integrity Knights could be part of this group, whatever the title was supposed to signify. But then I dug a bit deeper and realized, hey, that's not a random generic title that indicates old original knights. The title 7 Ancient Knights comes up in the previous volume, Unital Ring VI, and actually shortens this video to about 1/5 of the length it was going to be, so you should definitely smash that like button and show your support. But long story short, the 7 Ancient Knights title refers to a very specific group of 7 Integrity Knights. Well, what a surprise. But these 7 knights are the knights we have never come across in the main canon before. If you recall from Sword Online Alicization, actually revealed in War of Underworld in detail, one key piece of information was that there was a bunch of Integrity Knights sealed in the Central Cathedral. Their maintenance, or rather deep freeze, was at varying levels. When Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh started their cathedral assault, Quinella started the process to wake them up, but only managed to wake up Renly in time, who was completely unprepared for battle and just hid away. If I remember correctly, the process for Scheta had begun, but did not finalize in time to intercept Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh. Meanwhile, the remaining statues were completely untouched. The ones who remained in deep freeze throughout the War of Underworld and continued to remain so, probably even after Star King re-engineered the deep freeze and unfreeze commands. However, the way Kirito recreated the commands was different from the original way Quinella did them, so the Sacred Arts was uncertain to work on different levels of the deep freeze. Now we come to Unital Ring VII. The 7 Ancient Knights refer to this group consisting of Synthesis 4, 5, 9, 10, 13, 14 and 15. They are all in varying levels of maintenance, of course, so for all intents and purposes, in the urgent moment Selka and Alice find themselves in the previous volume, they were indeed impossible to be awakened as well, at least using the base Sacred Art to undo the deep freeze that Star King found. However, just a couple pages later, in the afterword of the exact same book, Reki states that while they can't be unfrozen for the time being, if the problem that's preventing their awakening is resolved, they can be brought up just fine, and that is basically the situation what we're looking at. That brings us to the former Guardians of Underworld finally awaken, the Vice Commander of the Integrity Knights Order, Fanatio Synthesis 2, and one of the 7 Ancient Knights whose name is Edith Synthesis 10. There's absolutely no doubt here. Well, there are 7 Integrity Knights in that group. I say that with absolute certainty, and if I end up being wrong, so be it. We're not randomly getting introduced a new knight that we have never heard of before, when the entire build-up is reawakening the Guardians from 200 years ago. And certainly they are not wasting that significance, the synopsis, on a no-name knight either. It's a clear teaser, and a teaser only works if the other side, the reader side, sees value in that reveal. And the reality is, Edith is probably among the most popular SAO game characters, if not the most popular somehow, despite being from a mobile game and not the Gameverse. The only twist that comes with this introduction is that Edith most certainly is not going to be the same Edith from Unleash Blading. Her backstory will still be the same, of course, with Mary, her misty sword, the potential to unleash herself, and probably when she gets consumed, that's why she was frozen by Quinella to be taken into maintenance. That also provides a very nice tie-in to her established backstory in Unleash Blading. However, unlike in the game, she will not have her time spent with Alice. She was not on the Cloudtop Garden next to Alice to stop Kirito and Yujio's ascent, thus won't recognize Kirito at all as well. She was not there to deal with the Dark Knights after the death of Lipia Zankel, nor was she part of the War of Underworld. She was frozen the entire time. She'll still likely be affectionate towards Alice and find her cute and all that kind of stuff, but they won't have the same bond as they did in the game, where Edith was basically all around her, and will need to re-establish that. She won't be picking on Kirito for removing Alice from the world. I mean, I'm genuinely curious about her relationship with the remaining knights. Depending on when she was frozen, maybe the likes of Fanatio and Düsselbert don't even have her in their memories. We know old knights often require tampering and removing their memories, so Fanatio has a chance of not knowing Edith at all. We know Düsselbert, for example, went through a maintenance after apprehending Alice Zuberg in Rulid and has missing memories. We never really had any insight into what Quinella did when she took knights out of rotation for maintenance. Did she tell anything to the remaining knights, or did she just remove the memories of that specific knight and went with something like they returned to the heaven, or acted like they were on a special duty somewhere? Actually interesting trivia that can be covered, as Reiki loves drowning us in trivia lately. And I think that's a very good compromise that works just fine. In fact, that's what we hope from Mito as well, but it feels like Mito will still be the same Mito from the movies, which is going to create some conflicts that Reiki will need to address. For that extensive talk about Mito, you can click the icon on the top right and go watch that now. Just don't forget to like this one and subscribe before you do. Thank you very much for watching, and stay cool.